Welcome to the Adonis Black Show, the only news show where we laugh to keep from crying, especially when headlines sound like they're satire. Today's episode, it's got a lawsuit about diversity in Costa Rica, toothpaste that tastes like chicken, and political drama so wild it'll make your group chat look tame. Let's go. We're going to start off with a few quick hit stories today. Number one, millions protested Trump policies this past week across 1,400 cities, from healthcare cuts to immigration crackdowns. Americans are sick of it. We're talking about it again because they're still protesting. So shout out to y'all. Hopefully y'all go down as the unnamed heroes of history. Either that or we all die from starvation as eggs creep up to $300. Imagine organizing that many people without a mixtape or a sneaker drop. That's unity powered by pure fed up energy. And shout out to the signs. Some of y'all got bars. I saw the one that said, if I wanted a dictatorship, I'd move to Florida. That's iconic. In other news, measles is making a comeback. Measles cases are rising again in the U.S. and it's not a coincidence, and we're talking about this again as well because it's still happening. This past week, at least 2 confirmed cases have been reported in Michigan. That's a pretty long trip from Texas. Measles is checking items off his bucket list while exploring the country, so maybe it's finally time to move to Canada. Turns out when you let politicians do TikTok science, kids get sick. Big shout out to Facebook University and the School of WhatsApp for their magical degrees. Seriously though, how are we going backwards in disease? We cured this decades ago. Next thing you know, we'll be worried about scurvy. A U.S. legal group is suing Costa Rica over its anti-discrimination laws, claiming it hurts religious freedom. That's right. They flew to paradise just to be mad about gay people. I can't even get my suitcase past TSA without drama, and they're out here exporting bigotry like it's avocados. Okay, so our first main story of the day. Let's get into this one. The Supreme Court just issued a late-night ruling to block deportations of Venezuelan migrants. A 2 a.m. emergency pause, because apparently we're doing democracy like Waffle House now, 24/7 chaos with a side of who ordered this. The Trump administration wanted to fast-track deportations under a new immigration order, but the court said, nah, let's talk about it. It's a temporary block, but it is significant. The case will now go through the usual legal process. Imagine being on a deportation list and waking up to find out you don't have to pack your bags, at least not yet. That's the most stressful version of hidden snooze ever. Now the real tension, Trump's already mad. His camp is spinning as activist judges ruining national security, but the justices didn't rule on the policy. They just hit pause. Like the Constitution tapped the brakes while the country tried not to crash. This matters because it shows that even with Trump back in the White House, the system, flawed as it is, can still check itself once in a while. You know, like a toxic relationship where at least one person finally goes to therapy. For our next main story of the night, we have drama over in Turkey. Over in Turkey, things are spicy, not kebab spicy, but cool spicy. The country's boiling after the arrest of Istanbul's mayor, whose name I won't try to pronounce. He's a huge political rival of the president, whose name I won't try to pronounce either. And now he's facing charges that critics say are politically motivated. It's the classic, let's jail the opposition before the election playbook. The president basically pulled the Monopoly go directly to jail card, but real life. Mass protests have erupted across Istanbul, but people are furious. It's not just about the mayor, it's about democracy hanging on by a thread and the president walking around with garden shears. International leaders are watching, nervously sipping coffee while tweeting deeply concerned, which is political code for we see the dictatorship forming, but we're too polite to say it. This is bigger than one arrest. It's about power, press freedom, the fact that authoritarianism doesn't knock anymore. It just walks right in and raids the mayor's office. For our last main story today, let's talk about the beauty and poison industry, because the new study found that some of the most popular synthetic braiding hair on the market might be full of cancer-causing chemicals. Sounds like our food and our clothes and everything else in America. I digress. So not only do you get scalp burns from that pack from the beauty supply, you might be absorbing carcinogens too. Multitasking. Researchers found volatile organic compounds, aka the why does this smell like melted plastic ingredients, stuff linked to asthma, hormone disruption, and yes, cancer. And before anyone says, well, just buy better hair, listen, not everyone has $400 to spend at a boutique salon. We're talking about everyday products for everyday people. This is a health equity issue. Also, shout out to the fact that nobody's testing this stuff. There's more regulation on juice bars than there is on what you're putting directly on your scalp for 8 hours a day. So yeah, beauty is pain, but it shouldn't be toxic. And if the FDA doesn't get on this soon, we're gonna have to start braiding with bubble wrap and prayers. We're done with the main stories. Our closing stories. Look, chocolate prices spiked this week. They spiked this week thanks to tariffs and cocoa shortages. Easter eggs cost more than gas. Somewhere, the Easter Bunny is filing for bankruptcy protection. The only thing kids got this year was jelly beans and IOUs. Inflation is wild. At this point, the Easter Bunny's retirement plan is just a scratch-off ticket and hope. Chocolate used to be a love language. Now it's a flex. Oh, you got truffles? Must be tax season. In other news, KFC released a chicken-flavored toothpaste. Yes, it's real. Yes, it's disgusting. KFC is out here trying to make your morning breath taste like last night's dinner. The Colonel has lost his damn mind. Who is this for? People who brush their teeth before bed and snack after? Maybe? I don't know. This is how you start your day if your spirit animal is a bucket of extra crispy. Look, if your toothpaste is marinated, your dentist deserves hazard pay. For our last story of the day, scientists have found signs of life on an exoplanet. Astronomers found potential biosignatures on a planet 120 light years away, which is great because Earth is given end-stage demo. I personally can't wait to colonize a new planet and ruin that one too. Manifest Destiny, Galaxy Edition. At this point, I'm not saying we should move, but let's go ahead and start packing just in case. And let's be honest, if aliens are watching Earth right now, they've already locked their doors. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Adonis Black Show. We covered everything from scalp trauma to space tourism to chicken Senate cavities. If you laughed, learned, or just side-eyed the state of humanity, go ahead and like, share, and send this to the one friend who still thinks Apple Watches are a personality trait. Catch you next time. Same sarcasm, new chaos. Stay weird, stay loud, and stay laughing to keep from crimes. The Adonis Black Show. Peace.